If you've been dreaming of starting a side business, but you've been afraid to take the leap because you work or go to school full-time, today I'm going to give you insight secrets to help you start that side business even if you are working or going to school full-time. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to kick those fears to the curb and start your business today, even if you are working full-time. I've used these tips to start my own business as well as getting a PhD full-time, and I know that these tips work and I can't wait to share them. Hey conscious go-getters! I'm Dr. Tiffany Shelton Mary Ohl, clinical psychologist and owner of Conscious Life Shop, where we sell modern meditation cushions. I make videos on how to create peace, mind, brain, and spirit. So if you want a little bit more peace in your life, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my tips. And then I'll just jump right into the video. My first tip is to just start. Forget expectations to know everything and accept that you will learn things along the way. You should just really forget expectations that you're gonna know everything about starting a business before you start a business. That's just impossible. A lot of things you'll learn by trial and error, and you'll try to get as much information as you can by reading, by researching, using your resources, networking, getting mentorship. But there are going to be those things that you just are going to learn along the way. And I had to find this out, as well as other many entrepreneurs in my life that I know, that there's just some things you have to learn along the way. So you want to let go of this notion that everything has to be perfect before you start. Just start, get things going, and you will improve and evolve along the way. And you can get lost in the course paralysis, or the information paralysis, or just trying to be a perfectionist. And I've seen this happen to other entrepreneurs, and I myself have been guilty of this at times. And I have to check myself and say, I just need to move forward. I just need to take that step and learn and be willing and open to grow as I am walking in this journey. So first tip is to just start. I also have a video on how to stop doubting yourself, which I will link below if you're struggling with self-doubt on your journey to start a business. My second tip is to stay focused and prioritize. Decide on your business goals and work on them using micro goals. I think a lot of us know the SMART acronym when we are making goals, and I think one of the biggest things about this SMART acronym, which is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely goals, is the realistic. Be realistic when you are working a full-time job or going to school full-time and you're creating a side business. It's going to be really important to make your goals realistic. This is a mistake that you can learn from me. I think I bit off a lot more than I can chew, and I wanted to do everything, even though I'm a solopreneur and I'm a wife and I was in school full-time, and then some of that time I was also working a job. So I had to really be realistic about my limitations and my strengths. Create those goals. I'm not saying don't do everything, but be realistic with your micro goals on what you can achieve and how much time really is going to take to get there. Because if you are a solopreneur, if you are just starting off and you're still working, it's going to take you a little bit longer than it's going to take someone who's fully dedicating their time to this, that has that privilege. That privilege will come if you stay focused. That privilege will come if you stay realistic and stay determined in the goals that are going to get you to these bigger goals. So set your bigger goals, break them down into smaller goals, and stay focused on those smaller goals without getting distracted on every little project, every little opportunity, because you want to keep moving forward in a realistic way. So when it does come to setting the goals and prioritizing them, you want to do a lot of research. You want to research things about business and things about starting a business as a solopreneur. I have a video on best books for entrepreneurs, which I'll link down below. That way I won't have to make this video too long. But essentially, doing a little, so starting like I said, but then doing a little research so you can know which goals to set and which goals to prioritize, most importantly, is going to be really helpful. And there's some really good information out there from experts and books that I've read that have helped me in my journey as an entrepreneur a lot. Which I'll link that video down below. Also, write down your ideas that come to you that you're not able to work on in the moment. I think if you're a really creative person, like a lot of entrepreneurs are, you're gonna get distracted by all these ideas and things that you want to do to improve your business. And when you're working full-time, you need to stay focused. So it's going to be helpful to have a place either on an app that you use or a document that you can save on your computer to write down ideas for next projects and next ideas that you want to do after you accomplish your current goal. That way you don't get distracted and you can keep moving forward with your goal that you're working on. My third tip is to consistently show up for your business. I say that even to myself, and I think that sometimes life gets in the way, but I really try to create systems and ways that I can constantly show up for my business. There have been times like when I got married and in my first trimester that I wasn't showing up. But thankfully I had systems in place that could still show up for me. But in general, this is even something I'm going to be transparent that I need to do myself because I do have a passive income e-commerce business. It can run on its own a lot of the time, but you want to, and that's great, and I'll get into that later, but you want to be constantly showing up pending any major life events like getting married and having a baby. And the way that I do that is to block out time in my schedule at the beginning of the week to show up for my business every day, either in the morning, the evening, or on the weekends, and commit to that time. Don't let anything or anybody steal that time. You really have to work hard at protecting that time so you can show up for your business. Another thing I will say that's going to help you in this area is to be more disciplined. So the way you can do that, I have a video on how to improve your self-discipline, increase your self-discipline, which I'll link below. Another thing is to be present while you're working. So when you're at work for your company, work for your company. Don't mix the two and try to work on your business while you're at work. When you're studying or you're at school, try to be there and be present. And then when you're working on your business, don't let anything else interrupt. My fourth tip is to accept that there will be sacrifices to make as you juggle a full-time job in your business. This is pretty straightforward. You have to accept that you're not going to be able to hang out with friends as much because you're going to need your free time to work on your business. You have to accept that you're going to have to go at things a little bit slower than some other people that are working full-time on their business. There's a lot of acceptance around the realities of life, and the faster you can accept those things, the faster you can move on and get some things done and work through them and maybe not have to deal with them as long. So just really work on accepting your limitations, accepting that things will change socially, accepting that you're a hustler and your life is going to have to reflect that. My fifth tip is to use the lean startup method. You want to validate your idea first and make smart investments. So test the market first, especially if you're working full-time and going to school. Don't just go buy a lot of products without testing the market. See what works, see what people are actually gonna buy instead of saying what they would buy. There's a book called The Lean Startup Method, which you can read, which I think I put in my entrepreneur books video as well. But that's another tip that's important because you don't want to waste a lot of resources if you're still working while you're building this business, because obviously you need those resources, otherwise you wouldn't be working. So test the market first, do the lean startup method. My sixth tip is be organized from the beginning. Organize everything. Organize your bookkeeping, your files, your photos for marketing. Organize everything. This is in your financials. Separate your money from your work money. So you're gonna have to get a business account, and that's gonna make things really easier when you go to do your taxes, but also on your computer. Get a hard drive, an external hard drive for your laptop, and just start filing, being really scrupulous about being organized. That's going to help you maintain your sanity if you're working full-time or going to school full-time and having a job. Organization is key. Just remember, organize, organize, organize. And another thing that I mentioned was to run your business like clockwork. That's my 7th tip. I have a video with the best apps for entrepreneurs that can help you kind of put your business on clockwork by using these outside apps and services that you can contract out to. But you really want to be able to have your business run as much as possible without you, especially if you're working another job. So you want to start to create passive income as much as possible. E-commerce is a great way to do that. Fulfillment centers are a great way to do that, but you really want to make sure your business doesn't fully depend on you, especially if you have to work and go to school. 8th tip is to pick one marketing strategy and maximize it. So don't try to do every Twitter, Facebook, social media, be on people's podcasts, be on every magazine, be at every trade show. Pick one thing that you're going to do and do it well, and then repurpose that material for other venues that you may be on or like as well. Like I like to do YouTube and Instagram, and I try to make those materials fit each other and feed each other and repurpose them a lot. So you can follow Sunny Luna Darsey. I'll link her below for tips on social media marketing, and there's other ways of marketing your trade shows, but just pick one. Don't try to do everything until you can get some more help, or either quit your 9 to 5 or when you graduate. My 9th tip is don't quit before you're ready. Elizabeth Gilbert in her book Big Magic talks about how she didn't, even though she had a best-selling book, she didn't quit her 9 to 5 job. And I think in social media today that is a big tempting thing because everybody's talking about quitting their job. But let me tell you, when you have to depend solely on your business, that puts a lot of pressure on it and takes the creativity out of it. So don't quit before you're ready. Pay your bills. Don't listen to all these people on Instagram. Really follow your instincts when it comes to surviving and being able to progress forward. Your business will tell you when it's time to quit your job, because you'll just know. You'll be making enough income and you'll have that sort of freedom. And I'm so happy for you, and I can see that coming for you, and I'm wishing that for you, and I know it's going to happen, but don't do it before you're ready. My last tip is to just be flexible. Sometimes, like I said, life is going to happen, things are going to come up, and you're going to have to flex work time and school time or business time, especially in those big life moments. So just be open to be flexible. There's going to be times where your business does override things and you're going to have to move things around with school and work, and you're going to have to be open to that. So just be flexible as well. Those are all my tips. I hope you enjoyed it. Congratulations on starting your business. Let me know what you're doing for your side business below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you want a little bit more peace in your life. I'm Dr. Tiffany Shelton Mariel. Namaste.